It's time for live Des Moines Menace Soccer on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Menace Soccer on CISN.TV is brought to you by Shelton Curtin, Shields, G&L Clothing, the Better Business Bureau, and the Atlantic Bottling Company. Now let's go live to the CISN sports team for the action on the field.
And we are live here at Valley Stadium as we get ready for Des Moines Menace Soccer. The Menace sitting in second place in the division in a tie with Thunder Bay, taking on St. Louis Football Club, their U23 club here tonight, as they try to stay in the hunt for one of the playoff spots. The top two teams get a playoff spot here, and leading is St. Louis with 19 points. They're number one in the division. Menace and the Thunder Bay tied at second with 17 points rather. And so some big matches here for the Menace as they come in here at 5-3-2, coming off their first home loss in 24 matches last week. And the last time these two teams met, it was a 1-1 tie in St. Louis. St. Louis FC, their U23 club, comes in at 3-2-4 on the season. They're fourth in the division. And the Menace, as we said, 5-3-2 tonight as they look to stay in the hunt for another division title here, as they have a string of those going and would like to keep that going again and get back into the playoffs here this year as we get ready for tonight's matchup on a beautiful night here. And the physiotherapy injury report tonight, Pisarik is the only player on that injury report tonight. He is injured and will be out of the match. And we will have the starting lineups coming up here in just a minute. That is your physiotherapy injury report. It is 80 degrees and cool. Not a bad night here for soccer as the shadows starting to cover over the field as the sun goes down here in West Des Moines. Darn Danielson with you. And we'll have Jonathan Otting will be coming up and joining us for some color here in the booth coming up here in just a bit. As we get ready for Menace Soccer, and then tonight after the match, fireworks. So a lot happening here. And then the Menace have, this is a big matchup. All of them here from here on out. They play a doubleheader the next two weekends on Friday, Saturday, as they continue to battle to stay in second place. Like to move up to first place, but you need to be in first and second there to get into the playoffs. And the both teams are still in the locker room getting ready to come out here tonight. As we come into this, Devin Jamga, the leading scorer for the Menace with 5 goals, 10 points. And Hayden Partain is second on the team with 2 goals, 6 points overall, 2 goals, 2 assists for the Menace. And under first-year coach John Pascarella. Greg Henley is assistant, Matt Kennedy, and Tylee Nunnick is the assistant coach, also here for the Des Moines Menace as we await the players coming out of the tunnel here to get started on a beautiful night. Good crowd already coming in here tonight, and want to see the soccer. And then, of course, fireworks is with the 4th on Wednesday. You're going to have a lot of weekend fireworks show. A lot of chances to see them here in this area throughout the weekend. This is one of the first ones. And then throughout the weekend. There'll be several events around the area here, I know, that are having fireworks, but you get to see them here first tonight. Hopefully the Menace are looking for some fireworks on the field. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight. Here for the Des Moines Menace, as you see the shot high above the stadium there, brought to you by Catch Des Moines. Eli Lockaby will be a defender. Brandon Fricky, another defender here. Fricky plays a butler. Grimes native. Johan DePicker, another defender. He plays for SIU. Hayden Partain, a midfielder, plays for Wake Forest. Luke Hawkinson, another midfielder. He's a Creighton player. Devin Jamga, the man up front, the fast one up, the leading scorer for the Menace. He'll be up there at the forward spot. James Whippich in the midfield. And I think there might be a change with him in the lineup tonight. He was listed the starter when we put this together. David Zalzman, another midfielder, plays for Memphis. He's out of Venezuela. Gabe Christensen, Cedar Rapids. He plays for SIU Edwardsville. Joe Kay, a defender. We've seen a lot of him in the last game. He plays for San Jose State from Brighton, England. And Jake Leaker, the keeper, out of St. Louis, Missouri. He plays for Memphis here tonight. Let's pause now for our national anthem. There you have it, our national anthem. Of course, coming up on Independence Day here on Wednesday, and so everybody, as you go around, see the flags out, and the red, white, and blue is a little bit different having that holiday on the Tuesday, but getting things started off in the weekend here with Menace Soccer as the two teams meet the officials at center field there. And we're ready to go. The Menace in the bright red uniforms tonight. And it'll be St. Louis, the FC20 U23 club, in their white uniforms. The starting lineups for St. Louis: Kyle DeSanto in goal, Jack Mayer, a defender, Brian Growerk, a midfielder, Sadiq Mohammed, a midfielder, Trevor Swartz, a midfielder, Andreas Garza, a forward, Mateo Kidd, a midfielder, Sam Gainford, a forward, Austin Pancott, a midfielder, Keegan McHugh, a defender, Aiden Stanley, a defender for St. Louis. Their head coach, Kevin Stoll, their assistant, Sean Hewitt. As we get ready for soccer here, the Menace battling to stay in second, hoping to move up into first place before it's all said and done with the season here. But right now you want to stay where they're at in second. They're tied with Thunder Bay. The top two teams get a playoff spot, so it's important for them. And looking to bounce back off that loss, their first home loss here as a late goal by Chicago. And they lost 1-0 back on June 24th. So starting the month of July, hopefully starting a new win streak here at West Des Moines Valley Stadium, the Menace. And it looks like they'll kick it off to get things going. And we're about ready for soccer. PDL Soccer at Valley Stadium. There's the referee's, center referee's whistle, and we're underway. That's a Lockerbie there. And now they'll send it back. Christensen. As it looks like St. Louis pushing forward quite a bit here, pushing up. We'll see how the Menace, if they handled that. And pushing it up ahead. They'll shot it through, just got by there. Jamga came through a little quicker, I think, than what he expected to see. We're going to kind of see in the middle there, Zalzman, Hawkinson, and Christensen kind of in that mid-triangle there for the Menace. Here comes up Jamga, and offside. The flag is up. So they go quick on the attack, but they'll be offside there, and it'll come back to St. Louis. And free kick here. That's Kyle Del Santo, the keeper for St. Louis. Drives it kind of deep. Flag's fluttering just a little bit. Not much breeze there. Jamga trying to run that down, but Jack Mayer drops it back to the keeper. Jamga still chasing it, putting a little pressure on in the back there. And here we come. Brandon Fricke will run it down for the Menace. Then Leaker sends it ahead. As the Menace pressuring up a little bit here early on. Headed up. Hawkinson handled it there. Now they'll send it to the back and build up from the back again. You see a lot of shadows on the field here in the early start of this match. As that sun goes down, we'll see the whole field kind of get covered and they'll flip the lights on. But here's the Menace. Tried to lob it up that right side. Now battle for it up ahead, Sam Gainford. And foul called on the Menace. First one of the match. Here comes St. Louis. Hayden Stanley. Battle for it down there. A good turn on it up ahead. Looking for Jamga. St. Louis will control it. St. Louis moved it up quickly, but taken away as they tried to drop it back by Jamga. And they look to turn to go counter right away, but the defense, Menace defense is there again. Zalzman kicks it outside. Nice. Pushes it outside there. On the outside run, he'll stop. Cross it back over and headed out of there. He had Hayden Partain, and that'll be a corner for the Menace, the first one of the match. So good ball movement up ahead by the Menace. He had Partain on the right wing there, and the defender had to come in and head it out of the way. So we will see Zalzman take the corner here for the Menace. Swinging in, knocked out of there. Follow up, oh, right to the keeper. That was a scorcher along the turf, but the keeper saw through the traffic and jumped on it, Del Santo, and a nice play. As the Menace are right there for the follow-up and fired it toward the right side of the net, but credit Del Santo. He was able to see through all that traffic in front of the goal and smothered it. Menace now will drop it back. They're in the red, FC, St. Louis FC U23. Here in the white. And now they'll move it up, taking their time into the middle. Zalzman now back outside. Can't handle it there. That'll go out. That was Adam Knight over there. Pressure by the Menace. They'll get possession here. And that'll go back to St. Louis. They try to lob it up over the top. And an offside call. The first of the match here on St. Louis. And the Menace will get the indirect kick. Coming out. Good one up ahead. Taken out of there by Mateo Kidd. And that one will stay with the Menace. They'll throw it in quickly. Looking for Jomgo over there on the left side. And defender all over him. And it'll go out. Credit the defender. Didn't really give Jomgo much room there. I think that was Jack Mayer. Didn't give him much room to handle that ball and turn and do much with it. You kind of see that Shadows now creeping farther across the field. A keeper trying to clear it out of there. Pressure up by the Menace. Partain knocks it away. Partain still handling it. Drops it back to Christensen, and they'll send it across the field. We touch into the middle. Jomga. And Zalzman comes up and battles for it and knocks it off the defender. It'll go to the Menace on the throw. The Menace being very aggressive up front here now. Just as I say that, here comes St. Louis trying to break out the other way. On that pass, he had Sam Gainford on the run, but shot it by him on the turn there. Now the Menace in control again. They'll push it up. We'll see if they drop it back down here to the right side. Looks like they will. It's Hayden Partain up high there on the right. Jomga in the middle. Lockerbie with the ball. And kind of mishandled there. And here comes St. Louis. And the shot into the keeper, but handled easily by Leaker. got a little sloppy. The Menace did trying to bring that back up. Now into the middle. Trying to go right side to Partain. Doesn't quite get there. It's knocked down by Aiden Stanley. Stanley working under pressure as it's stripped away, and then he fouls Partain. So it'll be a free kick for the Menace. Looks like a lot of energy here for the Menace starting out. They lob it up over, trying to get it in there to Jamga. Still battling. Sadiq Muhammad got it out of there. That ball up to Sam Gainford. Gainford outside to Trevor Swartz. Back into Gainford. St. Louis trying to work a little offense here. Send it to the right side. Knocked down by the defender. Good job to clean that up by the Menace, but pass out, picked off, taken away. And they still battled. So scrappy battle going on in front of the net there between St. Louis and the Menace defense. And Leaker now will boot it up ahead. Deep boot over the head of everybody. No wind to speak of right now, so when he gets behind that ball, it takes off. No wind to hold it up, I should say, coming out of the south. And Zalzman working it over there. Keeps it alive. These two teams played to a draw in St. Louis. 1-1. That was their only other meeting so far this season. Menace tried to sneak that through, knocked away. Now lobbed up ahead. Partain. Partain, can he get to it? He does. Now can he do something with it? Drops it back. Partain goes down, but Lockaby handling it, still working with it. Looking for an option. Into Partain. Now Partain looking as the defense packed back. He'll drop it to Hawkinson, and they'll move it over, trying to spread the defense out. Drop it back again. The Menace way pushed up. They'll have to be careful here of the counter if St. Louis is able to get it. They try to go into Jamga, knocked away. But the Menace there quickly respond. They're putting the pressure on in the back. And now St. Louis will be content to slow it here. Work it up slowly. Keegan McHugh. Now goes long. Nice pass over the top there. Back in left footer, and that's going to go out for a goal kick. So both these teams looking to score early when they get it up front, turn on it. Sadiq Muhammad there got the pass and took the shot. And both looking to get on the board early. End of the 14th minute. As more of the shadows come over the field. And offside called on the Menace. So the second time they've been called offside here in the first half. They are pointing out the spot where the kick should be taken. Up there about the 10 on the field marking. Again, a deep kick the other way, but handled by the Menace. And St. Louis now back to the Menace. A lot of battling going on in midfield for those balls. The Menace trying to keep the pressure on. Now up the side. And Trevor Swartz fell down, looked back. He thought he might get the call on the push there, but didn't. And it'll be a Menace throw. Well, the Menace keep pressuring. The forwards, midfielders at the back there, not making it easy on St. Louis. Now they come up and find a hole there. Over to Aiden Stanley. Stanley back in the middle. Now back out to Stanley, left side. He's looking to work against the defense. And Lockaby protects the ball, keeps Stanley away from it. And Leaker's able to pick it up. Now Leaker will send it ahead. Again, a battle toward midfield as the Menace are pushed up and push called over there on St. Louis, so kick for the Menace. Lockaby on the right side now. Now over the top on the far side, it's through there. In toward the goal and knocked away. Good defense there by St. Louis. We win that one-on-one battle that time. Back up ahead. Partain goes in the middle. Up to Jamga. Jamga gets it by the defender. And then another one quickly comes in. And they sandwich him. And take it away. Up the right side to Sam Gainford. Or left side, rather. Gainford. Working against the defender. Garza. And offside called. There's a lot of quick action up front. It's resulted in a couple offside calls on both teams as they look to move it ahead quickly there and then lose their position and get offside. So no score here, 19 minutes in. Well, Partain was looking for that one. Defender stuck the foot in there. And then Partain gets called for the push. And Partain gets it. And quickly taken away by Garza. Gingford sent it across field, but the defender for the Menace is there. Both these teams still trying to figure it out, a defensive battle here early. We're looking to score quickly when they get it up top, but so far both defenses have reacted well to the threats. Menace, keep that alive. Lockerbie. Down toward the north end, the sunny end of the field right now.
Tonight, half the proceeds will go to the lucky winner and half will go to the Menace Soccer Foundation and scholarships for a local player, as well as fuel and equipment improvement.
Trying to get a run on the left side. Knocked out by St. Louis. Each team with a shot so far on goal, but they said the defenses, both defenses, have been aggressive when it gets in that final third, shutting things down. In the middle to Hawkinson, and again knocked away. Jack Mayer sends it ahead on the run, and the flag is up, offside again. So once again, a little too quick there, and we get the offside again.
Providing the highest quality orthopedic care for over 60 years. With free, convenient metro locations at 18 Satellite Clinic in surrounding communities. Go to www.dmos.com to learn more about a convenient orthopedic surgeon. Let us help you get back to what matters most.
Now the Menace. They're to Jamga. Back to Jamga. Can he keep control? No, he can't, but the Menace do. Back into Jamga. Shot into the keeper. That was Knight delivered it in there to Jamga, and Jamga sent it toward the goal, but the keeper was right there, Kyle DeSanto. Able to handle it. Here again, St. Louis. White uniform showing up pretty good in the shaded areas there. On the field. Now they'll turn it. Let's see if they go up that right side again. They got Lockerbie on the far right. As Hawkinson moves it over. And Lockerbie gets caught in traffic. Outside. And then taken away by Luca Puster. Luca glad to get back on the field again after being out a little bit with an injury and spent a little time up here in the booth doing some color with us. Hawkinson now lobs it over the middle. Oh, Jamga got a foot on it still. And the keeper, though, Del Santo, made a good play on that as he got his foot over the top of it but couldn't get it into the goals. The keeper was right there. And, man, you get up top and it's a give-and-go game for both these teams. They're looking for Jamga in the middle. St. Louis the last couple of times has been offside, though. That's been their issue, is a little timing just off enough there. Now here it comes. And that's too much. Jamga can't run that one down. It'll go to the keeper before he can get there. Ahead to Garza. Battle for it in the middle again. I call it aggressive right now, but not really overly physical. They're going after the ball. Doesn't appear to be a lot of body contact as things are happening quickly. You get the ball, and there's Alsman. Takes it, but he'll be called for the foul. Too much on that one. And that evens it up. By my count, 3 fouls apiece here in the early going, but those fouls they're contact, but it's not hard to hard knocking into each other like it was kind of the other night against Chicago, where those two teams won that tight game. Just really going at it. Well, it was from the start of the match all the way through. But here it's just a matter of quickly trying to get control, get rid of it, move it up. And there's a foul back the other way. That went in from behind. And Andreas Garza trying to plead his case there. But it'll stay with the Menace, the 26th minute now. Up to Jamga. Jamga tries to sneak it through. But it's not going to go. St. Louis now working it back the other way. Both these teams really pushing up quite a ways, but neither one, the way the defense is, once you get the ball back, it's been hard to do a quick break out the other way. St. Louis now works it. Jack Mayer. Swartz. Well, they try to lob it far corner. Running it down. Now back and blocked. And whoa, just to the left of the goal there. Holy cow, that was close to sneaking in there. As it came off the fender and hit again. And the Menace dodged one right there. And now they try to take it back the other way. A handball there on Mohammed. Free kick. They'll send it to the left corner there. And that'll stay with the Menace. Zalzman. Into Partain. Partain, can he do something with it? Back. Shot off the top of the post. The goal post. Off the shot. And back down to the keeper, and he was lucky with the angle he was at. That might have came down off of him and in, but I think he got a hand on it there. As it was close to ricocheting off of Santo into the goal. The Menace. Another one of those off the top crossbar. Had one last week that looked like it was going to go into the right corner and just caught the top of the goal and bounced out. And they ended up losing that one late. Early here, though, a lot of time left. Inside. Cross goal! Sadiq Mohammed, I believe. So Sadiq Muhammad with the goal. So the Menace had one go off the top of the crossbar, and then St. Louis comes right back the other way and puts one in. And it's 1-0. St. Louis. Up to Partain. Partain outside to Jamga. Jamga working it. Sneaks it through there, and the foul. So there'll be a free kick there right outside the goal for the Menace. And a good chance right down by the goal for the Menace to try to even this match up. Zalzman will take the free kick in. About 7 yards up. Lobs it in there. Header! Going to come out wide and will stay with the Menace. And taken away by St. Louis. And then back to Lockerbie. Zalzman gets fouled, and they'll put it in play quickly. Oh, just take it away. Hawkinson on the run. Here comes St. Louis quickly back the other way. Gainford. Now St. Louis will readjust here. Knocked down, they try to lob it up to Jamga. Menace trailing now, 1-0 here into the 32nd minute. Battle for it. Zalzman comes away with it. Still trying to keep possession to Jamga. Jamga heads it up ahead, but a little too much on it, and it'll be back to the keeper. Minnesota putting the pressure back on. Jamga. Back inside. Oh, knocked down. He was calling for the grab there was Knight, I believe. As Jamga trapped it and got it into him, and he was heading toward the goal and thought he got pulled back or held, but nothing called there. And here comes that'll be a corner for St. Louis. They're first of the match here.
In the game of the Iowa Lottery, when you play Lucky for Life, luck seems to find you. And this is a different kind of luck. It lasts a lifetime. If you win one of the top 2 prizes, they stick around as long as you're around. Get your Lucky for Life ticket today at your favorite Iowa Lottery retailer.
So we'll come back out now. Menace trailing. Shot by Zalzman. He was the one that hit the top of the crossbar. And that'll go out to the Menace. They've had some come from behind matches this year. They're going to need one here. As they trail in the first half.
Menace fans, don't forget to sign up for 50/50 tonight for your chance to win some money and support a great cause. Tonight, half the proceeds will go to the lucky winner and half will go to the Menace Soccer Foundation.
St. Louis, their U23 team. Now working it. Inside their back. Out. Lobbed across the top and headed away. It'll be a corner for St. Louis. It's Pooster. Heads it out of there. Second corner for St. Louis. Looks like Aiden Stanley will go over there to take it. And swinging in, headed out by Joe Kay. And back the other way. St. Louis tries to come back upfield quickly. They're staying on the attack even though they've scored. And we've got that goal we'll show you here in just a second. As the Menace try to work it up on the far side. They'll keep possession. Maybe we should go to that replay because you know about the time we do, then they'll score. But that's the way it usually works. You look for a spot to show that. As they lob it back the other way, and Lockerbie knocks it down. He sends it up to Hayden Partain. Partain into the middle. Taken by Zalzman. Zalzman outside. Menace looking to even it up here. Back in. Jamga looking for that left corner, but it's the keeper's right there. And let's take a quick look at that goal here. As came back across and then just sneaking in there. On the cross was Sadiq Muhammad to put it in. So good passing there. And there's a foul on Partain. So it'll be a free kick for the Menace. In a good spot about about 20 yards out on the right side. Chance here to work something. Zalzman and Hawkinson there. We'll see who kicks it. Zalzman will send it out wide. Turn right to the keeper. So he got it in there to the feet for a good shot. I think that was Pusta. Maybe he turned on that. And again, Del Santo right there to shut it off. He's had a good first half so far. As we're into the final 7 minutes of the first half, Menace trailing here. Goal in the 29th minute by Sadiq Muhammad for St. Louis. Partain leaves it off to Zalzman. Christensen sends it up high. Back into Partain. He's going to try to run it down. And Partain does a nice job of knocking it off the defender to give the Menace the corner. Just their second corner here. A set piece now, chance to even it up. As we'll see, looks like Lockerbie's going to run up to that corner. And take it here for the Menace. Jamga running in. They kick it outside. Now across. Hawkinson lobs it back over. And tried a little misdirection there. Didn't work, but they'll reset it. Hawkinson over toward the middle. Quick shot there, a hot one, but it's knocked down. Zalzman. Again, Del Santo right there to handle it. The keeper for St. Louis. Partain tries to sneak it through the defense to Hawkinson. It dribbles off and gets there, and then a little miscommunication as Partain was coming back through. Menace putting the pressure on. Try to win it back. They do. Up to Partain. Oh, he was looking to get it to Jamga, but got a great pass there as it's picked off by St. Louis. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Menace would like to get it on the board and even it up here. They take it back the other way. Zalzman clears it in. Oh, tried to sneak it through there to Jamga. But the defense was back. It had him covered. Back to the Menace. Zalzman settles it, sends it to the left side. And that'll go out for a goal kick. The Menace looking to get control here in the last 4 minutes. Don't know if we'll have a lot of added time, extra time here. It's been a pretty fast match with not a lot of stoppage, really, in this first half. Adam Knight over there working. But St. Louis back the other way. Andres Garza. Now they'll take their time to move it up here in the final 3 minutes of the first half. Send it wide to Aiden Stanley. St. Louis. Back in. Oh, mistaken away as they try to send it back the other way. St. Louis doing a good job of keeping control right now. There's Partain. Can't advance it though. And that one's right into Leaker.
Physiotherapy Associates is the official sports medicine partner of the Des Moines Menace. Certified athletic trainers are on the sideline for the men's and women's training sessions and games. Thanks to Physiotherapy Associates.
Menace. I'll lob it up ahead. That'll be out to the Menace. And again, they were looking for Knight over there. Adam Knight. Send it over. They got Jamga on the right wing. We'll drop it back into the final minute here of regular time. Jamga, trying to go back with it. And not real great passing there. And up ahead to Jamga. That'll go back to St. Louis. Final seconds winding down here in the first half. And we're now into added time. Menace turned it here. See if they can even it up. And there's a foul. So it'll be a free kick for the Menace up high. They put it in play. Here we go. Lockerbie looking for Partain. Tried to lob it over the top, but caught there by the defender. And a scramble. Now the Menace gain control. And that'll be the half. So it'll be 1-0 here. St. Louis over the Des Moines Menace at the half. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk with our halftime guest coming up right after this.
Schuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event going on now at Schuttenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee and the all-new Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Over 800 vehicles with special 4th of July pricing in effect, including 0% for 72 months on select units. Schuttenkirk Chevrolet and Schuttenkirk Ford will be open July 4th from 9 to 4. All Chevrolets and Fords marked down. Wholesalers available to get more for your trade. Schuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event ends July 4th at 4 p.m. Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Schuttenkirk Chevy in Waukee.
To everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Schuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event going on now at Schuttenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee and the all-new Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Over 800 vehicles with special 4th of July pricing in effect, including 0% for 72 months on select units. Schuttenkirk Chevrolet and Schuttenkirk Ford will be open July 4th from 9 to 4. All Chevrolets and Fords marked down. Wholesalers available to get more for your trade. Schuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event ends July 4th at 4 p.m. Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Schuttenkirk Chevy in Waukee.
We're here at halftime. The Des Moines Menace trailing St. Louis, the U23. 1-0. Joining me here is the Menace General Manager, Matt Homanoff. Chalk for a buck. Now, the idea is person who gets closest to the sign. Is that the way it works, Matt?
You
What
got
we're
it,
seeing
Dar.
here, those balls, you purchase the balls, and then whoever gets the closest.
Closest to the middle of the sign.
Middle. Oh, okay. Because I say if it's closest to the sign, there's a lot, but it's closest to the middle of the sign. Huh?
There's always controversy.
And
Dar.
is the
Always
Maniac
controversy.
the final one, and then you blame it on him if you don't win, or no?
Tonight, that is correct.
That's the way it
I'll say back on June 17th, we put that pressure on Ivan Rakitic, and he mentioned that it was nerve-wracking, right up there with taking a penalty in a European final for Barcelona. But
Well, an interesting match here to start out. It was a back and forth, and it looked like both teams wanting to get up ahead early and attack. And again, a shot off the crossbar for the Menace, and then St. Louis comes back and scores one. But really just a lot of action in this match to start it out.
yeah, it's from my perspective, it's a microcosm of our season to date. Plenty of possession, plenty of chances, and of course we have one key breakdown. And get punished for it.
Yep.
So it's definitely unfortunate. I don't think we played all that badly from what I did see. But at the end of the day, they don't ask about possession stats. They don't ask about shots on goal. They don't ask about any of that stuff. They ask about who put the ball in the net more.
Who put it in there and who got the point. Yeah.
Exactly. So from that perspective, we are not where we want to be. That being said, we are 2 weekends into a 5-weekend homestand. That was set up to give us every possible advantage, not only to go into the playoffs on a strong note, but to succeed in the playoffs, something that unfortunately we haven't had a lot of luck with over the past couple of years. So we're not in panic mode yet, but it would be nice to turn this around and get a result tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're right. You tied with Thunder Bay for second here in the division, and as you said, it sets up and I think as a player and as a coach, you like having that in your own hands. And if you go out and you win the games instead of having to have somebody else, I mean, it's always nice when you get help from the other teams. But it's nice to go out and do it yourself and get the win and get the points, isn't it?
It is. And some late breaking news out of St. Louis. Thunder Bay did beat the St. Louis Lions just a little while ago, 1-0. So they're currently in first place. And so they're clearly going to be the team to catch moving on, because they do get another shot at the Lions tomorrow night in St. Louis, and they get a chance to host not only the Lions but also St. Louis FC U23s and Chicago down the stretch, all up in Thunder Bay. So although it sets up nicely for us, it sets up nicely for them as well. So I have no doubt that for the third consecutive year, that Thunder Bay will be at or near the top of the Heartland Division standings. Hopefully we'll be right there with them.
What was the mood? I mean, that game the other night, it was a late loss in the match, in the first home loss here in the PDL in, 24 matches. And how did you think the players reacted to that the other night?
Look, soccer's a cruel game. We outshot them more than 2-1. We outpossessed them more than 2-1. But as I said earlier, none of that matters because at the end of the night, we didn't have any goals that counted, and unfortunately the other guys did. I will say that we were incredibly disappointed with some of the refereeing decisions on that night, and we've made those feelings known to the State Referee Association, and they're taking steps to address that to the best of their ability. But we can't use any of that as excuses. We need to take care of our own house and our own business, particularly when we're at home. So I'm not going to sit here and make excuses and tell you that the team is satisfied or in any way complacent with the performances to date. But what I will say is that if we're able to turn this one around and hopefully go on a run here at the end of the regular season, I think we will be well set for a good postseason run.
Well, I've been telling after last year, not just because I do the games, but I've been telling anybody I run into, if you want to see a good fireworks display, the Menace have one tonight after the game, and right, you do. It is tonight, right?
Yes, indeed.
And I hope I was telling everybody, yeah, I know.
Yep.
But after seeing it last year, and I said, hey, come out, watch some soccer, and you want to get the weekend started out. I know there's going to be fireworks throughout, with the 4th being on Wednesday, but if you want to see a good display, come on out here, and you have that set up tonight after the match, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. So, fireworks have been a staple of the Menace promotional schedule for years, over a decade now, I believe. it's certainly something our fans love and appreciate about our team, and always look forward to it. So the thought process here was this is the first time in at least I think 6 or 7 years where we've been able to host a game over the holiday weekend, over the July 4th weekend. So rather than just doing post-game fireworks once, we decided to split it up and do it twice. So we've got the big fireworks display after the game tonight, hopefully celebrating a good result. Then next weekend, we've got 2 huge games, an exhibition against Sporting Kansas City's U23s on the Friday night, and then the PDL game of the week against the St. Louis Lions on Saturday, July 8th.
We'll talk a little bit more about those. We need to take a break here. We'll do that, and we'll come back. We're talking with Matt Hominoff, General Manager of the Des Moines Menace. We'll take a break and come back and talk about what's coming up here on the schedule. That's coming up right after this.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Schuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event going on now at Schuttenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee and the all-new Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Over 800 vehicles with special 4th of July pricing in effect, including 0% for 72 months on select units. Schuttenkirk Chevrolet and Schuttenkirk Ford will be open July 4th from 9 to 4. All Chevrolets and Fords marked down. Wholesalers available to get more for your trade. Schuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event ends July 4th at 4 p.m. Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Schuttenkirk Chevy in Waukee. Schuttenkirk.
Back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, halftime, the Menace trailing St. Louis, the U23 team here. Matt Hominoff, the general manager of the Menace, with us here at halftime. We're talking about looking at the schedule, a couple double headers coming up, the 7th and 8th, and then the 14th and 15th. So back-to-back nights of soccer. And I know as far as the team-wise, the depth is there, that isn't an issue for them, is it?
No, it's definitely a competitive advantage for us that we recruit so well, particularly in the Midwest. So we pride ourselves on being able to field strong teams, even if we're playing on consecutive nights.
So, and what is the next? Is it the 7th? And one of those nights we have fireworks again?
So Friday night, July 14th. So that's the second to last game of the season. When we host the same St. Louis FC U23 team, we'll have post-game fireworks after that one as well.
Okay. Let's have a little talk about the Menace and maybe moving up in the soccer world, and explain to us a little bit about what that's all about and what's been going on with that.
Sure. So we were honored to host representatives from the United Soccer League's new D3 project. D3 Vice President Stephen Short was here over Father's Day weekend, which of course coincided with our big player appearance and autograph session with Ivan Rakitic. So, and thankfully a great result against Thunder Bay. So we're at a position now in our franchise's evolution that I think it's fair to say that we're evaluating all of our options, and there's no doubt in my mind that this market is deserving of high-level soccer. But the question that we have to be able to answer as a franchise is exactly how high are we really talking about. The PDL, in no uncertain terms, is absolutely the highest level that players can play at and keep their college eligibility. And we're incredibly fortunate, not just this year, but every year, to be able to have some of the best college players in the country come to Des Moines and play in front of our great fans. The question that we're trying to answer, though, is that next level up, which will debut in 2019, and is currently called D3, that falls under the U.S. umbrella, is that the appropriate level for our franchise to be playing at? I don't have an answer for you tonight, but I hope to continue to dig in and look at the data and see if that's the right move for our team.
That would be a pro level?
It would.
And when you say D3, people think, I think, of a basketball D3. Is there any kind of, is it a minor league kind of thing, or is it similar to that? Or
it is. So obviously at the top of the structure here in North America, we have Major League Soccer, MLS. Mm-hmm. Then at the second division space, you have the USL. And then the third division space is currently empty. And that's a direct result of U.S. Soccer's decision this past winter to move USL up to that D2 level, on the same level as a competing D2 structure. So with D3 being currently empty, a new D3 league is scheduled to debut in 2019.
Okay, let's take a quick break here. We'll do that before we get started with the second half. And we'll take a quick break and be back with the start of the second half after this on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for.
Here at Valley Stadium, getting started, ready to start the second half here. The Menace trailing 1-0. Dar Danielson with you on CISN.TV, and Matt Hominoff is here. And there have been several comebacks here for the Menace, so looking for that, a second half comeback here, Matt. They've done it before.
Absolutely. So it's another story of this season that I think we played better, generally speaking, after the halftime break. Thinking back to some recent home games, Winnipeg, I think we scored both of our goals in the second half. Of course, the great win over Thunder Bay back on June 17th was a second half goal. So really the only exception to that is last weekend against Chicago, when unfortunately they scored late. But we do need to clearly pick it up here and not only draw this one level, but hopefully pull it out in the end.
Well, St. Louis starting out quickly here to start the second half. They're in the white, Menace in the red as we get going in the second half. And Partain knocks it out over there. And we'll get going. And they're going to call a push over there on St. Louis. So Aiden Stanley, what is his status?
So it's an interesting case here. St. Louis FC U23s, as many fans know, is the PDL affiliate of St. Louis FC, the USL team. that obviously is a fully professional team. They have multiple players on their team on amateur or what they sometimes refer to as $0 contracts, who are either about to become pro or clearly within the next couple of months or years going to sign professional contracts. So these are guys that can be on the pro roster, on the USL roster, but still get games with the PDL team. So there's no doubt in our mind that rosters like St. Louis FC's are stacked with future pros.
And the Menace here with the ball. And then St. Louis is the other St. Louis team is a different affiliation, or how does that work?
The St. Louis Lions are a completely different franchise. The top of the pyramid for Tony Glavin's youth soccer club. Tony Glavin is the owner and head coach of the St. Louis Lions, and I believe has been their entire existence. So it's a completely separate franchise, albeit obviously in the same metropolitan area.
That one headed away. And that will go out for a corner, the first one of the second half here for the Menace. So we'll see what they can do with this set piece here as we get started early in the second half.
So one change I noticed here, Dar, it looks like Isaiah Madrid, number 17, is on, and unless I'm mistaken, he came on for number 8, Luke Hawkinson.
Knocked down by Partain, and off the side of the net. That'll be a corner again. So Madrid, I didn't. Let's see anybody. You see anybody else out there that switched out? Doesn't look like it.
No.
Here's the corner, headed and just tapped over the top of the goal by Del Santo.
It's pretty clear that Luca Pooster, number 15, our center back from Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida, is getting on the end of a lot of these balls up in the air. If he's not the tallest guy on the field, he's certainly right up there. So
nice guy. He sat up here and did color for a little bit. He's really good guy to talk to, and here coming across, Pooster was looking at that one, but the defender got it now back.
Oh, there's another change. Number 26, Tucker Stevenson. Looks like he came in on the left for Adam Knight. So that's two big changes to freshen things up here in the second half.
Up ahead.
There's also some additional firepower on the bench. I know Ramon Joel, number 10, our Jamaican international who goes to Valparaiso, if I'm not mistaken, is on the bench, as is James Whippich. Fans here in Des Moines will remember Whippy from a great college career at Drake University. I truly hope that fans will remember how influential he was as an attacking player for the Bulldogs these past 4 seasons.
Well, okay, we got to. No, they're moving it back. Just resetting the kick, not changing it there as we get back underway. And ahead to Partain as he tries to turn it over. And it'll stay with the Menace. And inside, back out, and a little bit of misplay there. Well, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but so far the weather tonight is beautiful, and it's been fairly lucky with all the thunderstorm and stuff we have moved through. Haven't had any really hit on game nights here.
No,
Too bad.
It's been a very fortunate summer that way. Obviously, we had the rain in the first half back against Thunder Bay, and obviously some cold weather in May. But
But
overall, I think we can count ourselves very lucky this summer.
Nothing too serious, and that always helps in the crowds, doesn't it, with people coming out?
Absolutely. It's one of, if not the biggest factors in terms of determining how many people we get out to cheer us on. That and night of the week. We've got 24 seasons worth of data now that says that we need to be playing on Saturday nights at 7:30, so that's what we do.
And taking it down toward the corner, crossing it through there, battle for it, and right to the keeper. And I think that was Muhammad who scored earlier, but
it was.
Leaker was right there.
Oh,
the handle.
Not a handball there? No, play the advantage.
Looked like it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jamga was offside there.
Yeah. Both teams got in that a little early. It seemed like both sides were trying to get out early and get it up ahead and attack early. And I think they each had a couple offside calls or just jumping the gun. And, of course, they played to that draw in St. Louis, so I think wanting to get on the board first. Headed back to the keeper there by Joe Kay. And Leaker will send it deep. Jamga, and is off the St. Louis player. Looks like they'll switch field, bring it over this side to Kay. Battle for it. Through, looking for Partey, who gives a little extra shot there at the end, but St. Louis player gets up. There's been a lot of battle in the middle for the balls here tonight, trying to gain control. This time the Menace come away with it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Dar. I think our strength is clearly on the outside. Nothing against our central midfield three, but clearly St. Louis FC is plugging up the middle with a three, if not four, of their own here at almost every possession. So hopefully the team will be able to spread it out here as the half wears on and really use that width and use the fact that Valley Stadium is a nice 72-yard wide surface. Something that unfortunately we don't find everywhere we travel to in the PDL.
And I may have asked you before, they play on the road a lot of artificial surface, or are there a lot of grass too?
It's a mix. So the two teams in St. Louis both currently play on natural grass, both the Lions as well as St. Louis FC U23s, whereas the two Canadian teams as well as Chicago play on turf. Chicago currently has its home games at Northwestern University on the North Shore. I believe that's technically Evanston, Illinois. So yeah, just that one weekend trip we had back over Memorial Day weekend has been the only time to play on natural grass this season.
Let us help you get back to what matters most.
And that'll stay with St. Louis. Pencott will throw it in. Well, Matt, I know you have things to do here. We appreciate you taking the time to talk with us here a little bit.
My pleasure, Dar, as always. Hopefully we'll be able to turn this one around. If I can, in closing, first and foremost, thank you and everyone else at CISN.TV for all you do for us. And I would be remiss if I did not wish my daughter Haley a very happy 11th birthday tonight.
Oh, wow.
She's in
Congratulations,
attendance
Haley.
with a lot of her friends. Hopefully they'll get to see a big Menace comeback here.
And Dad set it up to have fireworks on her birthday. What a great dad you
imagine
are.
that.
Wow. Thanks a lot. Matt Halmanoff, the GM here of the Des Moines Menace. As he said, they're a second-half team, and hopefully here is now. They sent it out wide. Oh, wow, that ball took a weird hop coming off there, but taken by the keeper, Del Santo. And up over the top, Joe Kay back there defensively. And looks like a substitution here for the Menace. And that's Wang Sunday coming in for Gabe Christensen for the Menace. Another Drake product there. Sunday Wang. And the Menace now in their half. 29th minute goal in the first half by St. Louis. And that man there scored the goal, Sadiq Muhammad. Back outside. Sunday picks it off, sends it in there. Madrid. Try to turn it. And that'll go, I think a handball there will go to the Menace, or excuse me, to St. Louis. St. Louis in the white, the Menace in the red. And joining us now, Lucas Stauffer, in to do a little color with us. Thanks for joining us, Lucas.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And
best seat in the house.
Yeah,
you get to see everything.
So, what do we got to see out of your teammates here to get it going?
Well, we got 30 minutes left. We need to push for a goal because obviously we're down 1-0. So we got to be a little bit more attack-minded. So we got to take those risks. We got to play forward. We got to try different things and try and get creative to break down St. Louis.
Here come the Menace. They had the one shot by Zalzman that hit the top of the crossbar. And it looked like that was
I
going
actually just got in from plane flight about 10 minutes ago. So this is the first of the game.
In the first half, Zalzman had one that hit right off the crossbar, and it came down and hit the keeper, and he got his hand back because it almost looked like it was going to ricochet off him into the goal. But credit Del Santo. Here's a breakaway.
Go on, Tucker.
Outside. Back in. Oh, knocked away.
Finish.
Still go on. Knocked away again. Del Santo. Really holding off the Menace down there, and wow.
Good attack, though. We won the ball in the midfield and immediately counterattacked, and Tucker, Stevenson, and Devin Jamga really broke. So that was good to see. Got to have more of that.
So we'll see if they turn it up here. Back up ahead, looking for Jamga. It goes out. It'll stay with the Menace. And looking to even it up here. Pressure by St. Louis. And here they come. Up ahead. And foul will be called there on Luca Pusta. He sat up here a few times with me. Done a nice job calling the color on it. And
good player, good guy.
he was injured for a game or so there and got back.
Yep.
And
He's been strong. He's been strong all season, though. He comes in and out. Coach is really good at changing the 11, and we're good at having a lot of depth in our squad. So
yellow card. Was that for
Keegan McHugh? Yeah.
For faking, feigning you were going to kick it? Not. Is that
I think it was time wasting.
Oh, time wasting. Oh,
That
okay.
could be wrong. Good move.
Okay, here come the Menace. Oh, outside.
He's not off.
Jamga onside. Or no, he is. Flag came up. Looked like he was, but the flag came up over there.
Yeah. Do we have replay?
We do, but we're not going to check. So you were on a plane. Where did you go? Did you go back home? Or?
I had some family problems and decided to go home for the week. So I left, booked my plane flight last Saturday, left Sunday, and came back tonight.
And where is that?
Owensboro, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
So the Drake Bulldogs play in the Missouri Valley. I'm like 30 minutes from Evansville, Indiana.
Okay.
So.
Well, getting it back to the keeper now out again. And the Menace. Trying to work it up here. Well, the first half seemed like both these teams were really pushing it up and then attacking. And neither one could get in, but one little mistake on a cross where they didn't cover, and St. Louis put it in there. Now up to Jamga. The flag's down, so he's onside here. Jamga working. Oh, I think he was – I don't know. Did he think Kay was coming in behind? Or?
I think so. At least with me, I try to get around the outside, and I know that's what our outside backs try to do, so – just unlucky, but the build-up was good, and for the past 4 or 5 minutes, we've really had the run of play here.
And into this, be the 66th minute coming up here. Well, what was the mood after that match the other night where you lost late to Chicago? I know a little frustration there probably.
Oh, man,
wasn't it? Lose one like that late in the
that's soccer. That's the game. Sometimes you have so many opportunities, and on the day you just can't finish, and then the opponent gets a couple, and they make do of it. But the morale after the game was, okay, how do we bounce back? How will this define us?
Mm-hmm. You okay with it? Battling there, the defender takes it away. And now Muhammad back out through. And good defense there by Fricky.
Yep, well cut out.
So determined to come back out and try to
get a result, yeah.
Yeah, because you know you're right near the top of the division. You need to keep battling in here and get some points and some wins.
Yep, and every point counts. It doesn't matter who it's against. They all count the same. So.
And there's a foul against St. Louis, so Menace will get the free kick and get it started again. Moving here to the left side, now back into the middle. Up ahead.
Working the ball up pretty nicely. Good switch.
And on the outside. Oh, inside, turns it. Oh, couldn't get back in there, but it'll be a corner.
But really, that's fantastic play. They moved the ball from one side of the field to the other, then switched it quickly. And Ramon had a nice little move on the byline. So definitely for the next 23 minutes, that's what we need.
So here's the corner. Swinging in, head, and it'll be a goal kick. Yeah, Matt Hominoff talking a little bit about that. Just the frustration of that Chicago game, one went off the top of the crossbar, and you had more shots, and just within
I know
a half a foot or something here, and it just I know, like you say, it's soccer. You just got to play through that, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on the day, the team might have the bounce, so to speak. So everything's going a little bit their way, and the other team's just getting a little bit unlucky. And that's sort of how we felt the other day, last Saturday. But it goes on, and you have to get ready and play the next one. So
battle for it. And that one shot through, and that'll go out. So far, Menace keeping it in their half, keeping the pressure on here.
Yeah, if you can tell, our back line is pushed up almost 5 yards off of midfield, so that makes everyone step up just a little bit higher, and we're putting them under a lot of pressure, so that's really helping us and getting us to get some quality chances. Another good win by Moang.
Try to turn it back up, and it's off of St. Louis. Looking for Jamga over there. And it'll stay with the Menace. Throw. Bounce it back. And that one right in easily to the keeper. The goal there to get it up there and kind of move the defense, isn't it, and look for that opening?
Right. So what's happening is that we're pushing up so high and putting St. Louis under so much pressure that's causing them to drop. It's causing them to drop all their players back. So in a situation like that, you kind of have to move the ball and just wait for them to open up, because they will open up. Every team will open up eventually, but the key is quick ball movement and movement off the ball.
Are there set plays you have where you want to shoot that in and run on it, or
not necessarily plays, but
just instinct of work?
Yeah, instinct with each other and team chemistry, and that's where all that stuff really comes into play. Knowing where somebody's going to move before they get the ball, or when you have the ball, you know where they're going to move, so you can play them into space. Looks like David is Salzman.
If he's got some blood or something, that they're taking him to the sideline there to look at him. So we'll take him off as we're heading into the 72nd minute here. The Menace trailing. trying to get a handle on it. St. Louis sends it outside to Pencott, rather. They'll send it back over.
University of Indiana, I think. Right? I think it's where he plays college.
I don't have their colleges listed
okay.
on my sheet.
The only reason I know is about half of the St. Louis team I've played against or played with at some point.
Okay. And they're being a little more deliberate now here with the lead, seems like.
Yes.
As they work it up. And there's offside on St. Louis.
Yep. Sam Gainford.
Now the Menace again here. Good crowd. They're just waiting though for something to happen. Everybody's
exactly.
kind of like, because the
Often.
Menace have had a couple chances where they build it up here, and it's just like kind of wanting to will them to get it and even it up here.
Exactly. I mean, really every game we've had a fantastic crowd, and that's one of the fantastic things about playing for the Menace is that the fan support and the support in the community is just awesome.
Sonny Muang sends it up there, and there's a foul. So it'll be a free kick for the Menace. Lucas Stoffer sitting in with me here, one of the Menace players. And back in the middle. Oh, they were looking back for Howell there. Across.
Good ball.
Oh, Jomga just couldn't get around the defender to get to that.
It was a good ball, but it's good to see that the reaction coach probably gave them at halftime was, we're down the goal. We need to try and pull this game back, and that's exactly what they've been trying to do for the past 20 minutes, which is fantastic to see. St. Louis is being pretty reluctant, trying to control the lead.
Yeah.
They're a bit under siege at the moment.
And that's totally the opposite of what they were doing in the first half.
They were really?
They were getting it. Well, both teams were getting it up top quickly and you know, taking shots and everything right away. But here St. Louis has slowed it down because one of the things, too, if they push too far ahead, then you open up that attempt for the counter back.
Right, exactly. And
the Menace.
With the pace of our front three, that's really, really deadly. So you can tell that St. Louis is sitting off quite a bit.
Battle for it over there, and St. Louis comes away.
Good first touch.
Out ahead. And take it away. Well, and this game certainly, Matt Hamanoff mentioned a little bit too, that a lot less physical than last week.
Yeah, last week was a bit of a.
And that's offside for Jomga. But he shoots it through there anyway just to kind of. But yeah, they kind of, from the start, they kind of let things play physical in that one, and it kept up. But here tonight, not quite.
Not quite the same game.
No.
Exactly. Exactly. But when a team comes in and presents that physicality, you have to match it. No matter how good the soccer is or how bad the soccer is, you've got to match that physicality and the competitiveness of a team like that, which we did, which we did last week.
And that's Elliot Goodwin coming in for St. Louis. as they continue. Take their time to move it up. Trying to cut it through the middle, not there. Here come the Menace. Pressure. And good one. Moves it up ahead.
Good defending.
Yep, trying to get by Fricky. He keeps it alive down there. Tight roping. Oh, back around. Off the keeper. And in. Was that Aiden Stanley? Or no, Austin Pencock.
Poncho. Yep, Austin Poncho. So there's still time left. That's the beauty of the game, is that it's not over until it's over.
Well, credit St. Louis there. They just kept the pressure and didn't let up on that.
Yep.
And kept pushing the Menace when they had some numbers down there, looked like.
The defensive positioning was good, just a pretty good individual effort by Poncho. And that stuff happens. That's the game.
Nike is a proud sponsor of the PDL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
And way offside there. You could tell that by about 7 yards up the field.
Oh.
And
looks like a yellow card for Sam Gainford.
Who was that?
Sam Gainford. That was number 25. Native of Liverpool, England.
Mm-hmm.
Akron University senior.
I give those guys, like I give Pusta a little bit of a hard time about his accent. I said, "Are you from Texas now?" Is that
the only reason I know Sam and I we're pretty good friends. We had the opportunity to play together and live together in Portland, Oregon, our freshman years of college. So he's a good player, good person.
Sent it outside, and Whippich looking for it, but it'll come back to St. Louis. And that's the thing with soccer. When you're going all over the place, you look for people you know, or you get to know people, don't you? Because you find yourself far away from home a lot of times and in different places, don't you?
Usually what happens is you work your way up the ladder, and as you continue with the game, you're usually playing against the same people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that at the college level. I've seen that at the club level. Usually you're playing against the same guys, because usually the guys that you play against when you're younger stick with it.
Yeah, and the ones that are good, they keep moving, developing their skills, right?
Right, 100%.
That's over the top. He is onside there. Knocked around. And that'll go back out to St. Louis. Into the final 10 minutes here. And the Menace need to turn something around, get something to happen here quickly. Because the one thing is, sometimes you get that 2-0 lead, but if you get that goal and it drops it to 2-1, then the pressure turns a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. The momentum changes. The momentum of the entire game changes just like that. Snap of a finger. At this point in the game, you've got to take more risks than you normally would. Being down 2-0 with 9 minutes left, plus a little bit of extra time.
And of course, St. Louis, they're happy just to knock it around, keep it moving, and
Right, because now what comes down for them is game management. How
Yep.
can they kill off the game?
right.
And so now we've got to step our lineup even further and chase the game a little bit and see the game's already getting a little bit stretched out.
Mm-hmm. And then that's where you got to watch too about the quick counter where you don't give up that third goal.
Right, exactly. So that's so we balance.
Here it comes on the outside. Whippich with it into the try to get it through the middle there a little too much. And that'll go back to the Menace.
And the show will start when the lights go off. Fans can watch from the stands or on the field. After the fireworks show, you're invited down on the field for the autograph zone. And after that, join us for the official post-game party at Legends American Grill just up the road. Bring your ticket stub and your first drink is on us. Hang out with the Menace players, coaches, and staff at Legends American Grill, 50th Street.
So now they got to step up. They got to squeeze.
Squeeze it in.
Yep.
Get a little more aggressive on those
Yep.
balls. There we go.
This is the point in the game where you got to go into grind mode. You got to make something really out of nothing, which we have the quality to do. I wouldn't be saying that if
And
if
it
I
is,
didn't believe.
even when you have the lead, sometimes it's where it gets dangerous because you
100%.
because sometimes you get playing into that kill the clock mode and you kind of get less aggressive yourself,
right.
don't you?
You get a little bit lackadaisical. Then you find a goal with 7 minutes left, and that makes it 2-1. The other team's got the momentum, and then it's 2-2 before you know it.
And that'll go back to the Menace. And credit St. Louis, they're still all over it. They're not making it easy, are they?
No, they aren't. They're doing a pretty good job of managing the game at this point.
Joe K has Whippich up the left side there. Gets it to him. Now back.
We got to get the ball to the inline. Got to make runs in behind at this point.
And yeah, the defense steps in there. Through.
Oh. Go hit it.
Whippich and right to the keeper.
It's unlucky, but that's good play. Stevenson picked the ball up in the midfield, dribbled at the defense, released it wide. Just unlucky on the shot.
Heading now toward the final 5 minutes of regulation here. Menace trailing.
How much stoppage time do you think there'll be? Joe K moving the ball.
Probably maybe a couple minutes. That one, the rebound inside there.
I was thinking maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 maybe.
Yep.
I was kind of surprised 4 minutes the other night.
Yeah, there was
shot.
Good goal! See, there we go.
Is that Madrid?
That was Isaiah Madrid. Yep. So now maybe there's a momentum shift. Well, definitely there is a momentum shift, but let's see if it can turn out positive for us. That's great.
We got a replay on that. We'll get it here in a second. New life for the Menace now. Go ahead. Replay. There it is.
Great technique.
Yep.
Great technique.
Got it inside that right upright there. And now the Menace putting the pressure on here. Scoring in the 86th minute.
Since I've been on here, we've talked a lot about momentum shifts.
Yeah.
I think we just saw one.
So it seemed like it took a little while, but part of that was St. Louis was doing a good job of kind of slowing the game.
You know, the good thing about soccer is that it's not over until the final whistle is blown.
Yeah, that momentum can pick up anytime.
Exactly.
Right down, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Here's the Menace. Now working it because now you got plenty of time to work it here yet still with 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
plus an extra 2 or 3, so you've
Yeah.
got 5-6 minutes. And that's plenty of time to score a goal. We've got the ball. They're pushed back on top of their 18, probably 5 or 10 yards off their 18.
Take it up the top there. Tried to sneak it through. Pressure again, though. Kept alive. And
Good call by the ref
Yeah.
to try and see if they could get an advantage, but he pulled the foul back on Lockerbie.
yeah, people always wonder about that. You know, what the official's doing is waiting to see if he gets through the defenders and can go ahead and score, because you don't want to blow that whistle and kill a promising play there.
Right,
and that
100%.
time he did. He waited and played that advantage, and now here's a chance for the Menace out from the right side.
Feeling a goal.
Down to the corner. Back. Oh, tried to feed it in there, knocked away by the defender. And that'll be a yellow on the pole down there.
But despite the yellow card, that's a very smart play.
Yeah, kind of a strategic foul. Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because you stop them and you kind of get a chance to slow it down here again. And there's a foul. And back out quickly, the Menace. Looking for Joe Kay over here on the right side. A little too much pace on that. Into the final minute of regular time. Maybe a couple minutes or so of extra time. We'll get a substitution here as St. Louis tries to burn a little time there. Looks like Trevor Swartz is going off. And let's see who that is, the number on it's Kevin Renteria. Up ahead. Oh! Whippich was trying to settle that in, but
There will be 4 minutes of extra
4
time.
minutes of extra time.
It's great news. If you're a Menace fan, it's great news.
A lot of time to work with for the Menace now. And back to St. Louis. Well, frustrating there trying to get it ahead. Huh?
Unlucky on the flick.
Certainly all the fans up on the edge of their seat now trying to will this team to tie it up. They'll just send that way up ahead again to try to waste a little time. Probably about a minute gone now, the extra time. Just a little misread there.
Unlucky.
That's the one thing here. You got to hurry. You got to be fast, but you can't be sloppy, can you?
Right. Yeah, 100%. Because as the game goes on and you're down a goal and you're getting tired, that's when your mental focus and your edge has to start kicking in, whether it be technically and tactically. Both has to be on point.
Trying to move it back up on the attack. Knocked away. There's a foul there. And that may be technical the other way.
Yeah, same
stopping
thing.
Stopping the momentum ahead. Good deep kick. Oh, Jamga trying to run it down. Oh, that was a good play to get it by the Menace there. Leaker.
Playing outside the box. Good flick on.
Knows he has to set it up ahead.
Yep.
Stay with the Menace. Here they go, trying to set it up, trying to even it up here. Good defensive play on the far side. Just tangled up, they fall down, they'll stay with the Menace. I think a couple minutes gone now. In the extra time. Menace trailing, looking for the equalizer.
Great ball in by Tucker. Unlucky by James not to get it.
Trying to dribble it through there. Turn. It's
still up.
Free ball up there. Headed up. Joe Kay is trying to move in there and get a foot on it. It'll come back out the other way. So I think about a minute left.
Yep.
If I'm right. It's agonizing for you, isn't it?
Oh man, I've broken a full sweat.
Lucas Stauffer up here with me. Battle for it. That'll be a foul against St. Louis, so a free kick out there. Chance to send it in.
Yep. So now. Yep, you got to put everyone in the box.
Keeper's coming up.
Yep, last time we were in Chicago, we pulled a goal back at this stage in the game with everyone up.
Coming in, headed back, and that's it.
Unlucky result.
Furious finish, but an unlucky result, as you say, for the Menace as they fall here 2-1. To St. Louis. Madrid is the player of the match for hitting that goal to have it there. And Lucas Stauffer,
thank you
wish
very
we could
much.
have a little better result. Thanks for coming up and being with us. And hopefully next week got a couple matches. Hopefully get a couple of those and stay right in the title hunt here.
Exactly.
All right, appreciate it, Lucas.
Yep.
And the final here will be 2-1 St. Louis over Des Moines. We'll take a break and we'll come back with post-game coming up after this.
Schuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event going on now at Schuttenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee and the all-new Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Over 800 vehicles with special 4th of July pricing in effect, including 0% for 72 months on select units. Schuttenkirk Chevrolet and Schuttenkirk Ford will be open July 4th from 9 to 4. All Chevrolets and Fords marked down. Wholesalers available to get more for your trade. Schuttenkirk's Ford ends July 4th at 4 p.m. Schuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Schuttenkirk Chevy in Waukee.
Check. Yeah, hello. We got it.
to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means that business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Be part of the movement to grow the beautiful game. Be a fan. Be part of Iowa's premier men's soccer team. Be part of the Menace. And after each home game this season, your first drink is on us at the official Des Moines Menace post-game party at Legends American Grill. Redeem your ticket stub for a free Corona, Corona Light, or soft drink. Join us for these upcoming Menace games, or find out more.
Danielson with you here on CISN.TV. Brandon Fricke with me, and just another frustrating one here tonight, huh?
Yeah. I think it's another one that any other night goes our way. I think we deserved a little more. We played, we created chances, and sometimes that's the way this game goes.
Yeah, Zalzman had that one just off the top of the crossbar. The second week in a row, you get one of those too.
Yeah. I mean, you could see it. Anyone here saw it. Anyone watching at home saw it. We had our chances. A couple unlucky breaks, hitting the post, a couple good saves, and honestly, just not quite clean enough with our final ball, our final finish today.
You gotta like the way you closed, though. You got that goal, and you had a chance there in the end to maybe even this up.
Yeah. You never doubt the fight in this team. We've got great depth. Thanks, bud. We got great depth, great team, a lot of talent, and we're always going to fight for this club. And the fans were amazing tonight. You see, they gave us a standing ovation there at the end, and that's what it's all about. They appreciate the effort, so we can hold our head high going on that.
Okay. Well, a couple doubleheader weekends coming up. Got some work to do, but I know you guys will come out and be ready to go, huh?
Yeah. We'll get after this one, learn what we did wrong, learn where we can improve, and get after the next one.
All right, Brandon, thanks for joining us here.
Appreciate it.
Brandon Fricke here. The final, the Menace 2-1. They fall to St. Louis despite a furious comeback here in the end. And we're going to take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll have the fireworks coming up in just a little bit here on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship. It's not about the trophies, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. Take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem.
Dar Danielson back here as the Menace fall to St. Louis FC U23 team here tonight. Despite a furious comeback where they cut it in half and had a chance there late to even up the match and maybe go to overtime, but they do fall here to St. Louis. And Isaiah Madrid, the man of the match, as he got the goal that halved it here tonight, but unfortunately unable to get the win. They fall to their second straight loss here at home, unusual after the 24 straight PDL wins, but they'll come back with double headers each of the next 2 weekends, Friday and Saturday matches, a chance to get back on top here. So we're going to take another break, and then we got the fireworks coming up here on CISN.TV.
To everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Shuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event going on now at Shuttenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee and the all-new Shuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Over 800 vehicles with special 4th of July pricing in effect, including 0% for 72 months on select units. Shuttenkirk Chevrolet and Shuttenkirk Ford will be open July 4th from 9 to 4. All Chevrolets and Fords marked down. Wholesalers available to get more for your trade. Shuttenkirk's 4th of July sales event ends July 4th at 4 p.m. Shuttenkirk Ford in Indianola. Shuttenkirk Chevy in Waukee.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not